Hello everyone, welcome to Genshin Impact. Scaramouche just came out, or I guess we call him the Wanderer. So yeah. I have... that is 60. 60 pity. So technically it'd be like 2 temples, because we gotta go to 75, not 70. Alright, here we go. Alright. It's not early. No Farzan. She's the new one. Ooh! Farzan right here! Yo! Won my 50-50 again? Maybe? Nah. Yay! I won my 50-50 again. I could do a temple on Ethos. Why not? What the? There's a Kali and a Farzan in there. I'll do one more. Okay. Won my 50-50. Alright. I'll take it. What the?
Relax.
What the? What? Sir, what was that? And a constellation. Ooh. We'll go to 30. Nope. $40. Alright. We just suck, you know? Alright. That's as far as I'm gonna take it. I realize I have still completely dodged Goro. Like, I still don't have him. What the frig? We are entering the Sanctuary Sarasthana, to do... I guess it's kind of like... They call it the Archon quest, but it's more like the Wanderer story quest. So that's what we're doing. Alright, I accidentally started this quest, and it basically was just the Traveler Paimon getting spooked because they saw the Wanderer walk around, or aka Scaramouche walk around the city here for a split second, and they got spooked. So now they're running over here because they're like, what the heck? Why is he out here?
Traveler, Paimon, there you are.
Hello!
Nahida! Bad news. We just saw the Balladeer strolling around in public. Did he escape or... Ah! It's him!
Hey!
Sure enough, you're here.
Hey! What are you doing in the Sanctuary of Sarasthana? Aren't you supposed to be locked up? I know you must have a lot of questions. Please, allow me to explain. It was my idea to set the Balladeer free. We made a deal, and he's gonna do some investigation in Irminsul for me. A deal? Huh. You sure you trust this guy? The Balladeer's power was all but completely spent after your battle. He's no longer strong enough to be a strategic threat to us. That puts him in quite a precarious position.
He's just weak.
Plus, he's a former Harbinger with knowledge of many of the Fatui's sensitive secrets. Being stuck here in Sumeru could make him a sitting duck, depending on how the Fatui plan to respond. Wait a second. Farmer? You mean he's not a Harbinger anymore? I take no pleasure in saying this, but it seems as if the doctor had no intention of welcoming back a loser, so...
So he does do I like trash.
Sometimes it's you using them, other times it's them using you. Most human relationships are this way. Certainly all the stable ones are. That's how it was between me and the Fatui, and also between each of the Harbingers. So as long as you have some value to offer, nobody will ever abandon you. But after recent events, even I have to admit that I'm not worth quite what I used to be.
Dude. You're so low on yourself.
Today can be a trial run. Where we go from here will depend on how well we manage to cooperate today.
All right, then I'll do what we agreed.
Good. Go now, and keep in touch. Nahida, are you serious about this? Yes.
Okay then.
I have my reasons for this decision. In fact, I'm largely doing it for your benefit. As I told you once before, there's information about your twin in Irminsul.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that's the whole reason we came to see you today. So, you have an update on that?
Mm-hmm. You may remember me mentioning that the Fatui had not included your twin's details in the Descender category. This is an extremely important point. It's possible that the Fatui have other information that even I don't know about. And since the Balladeer used to be one of them, he'll be better acquainted with this information than I am. He was granted the power to connect with Irminsul when he almost became the god of a new era. Even though he no longer has the Gnosis, some traces of its power remain in him. He can still connect. In fact, I was going to ask you to supervise the Balladeer on my behalf while he carries out the task I assigned.
Oh, okay.
Even though he only has a fraction of his full power left, that's still a fraction of a former Harbinger. If you could accompany him, it would put my mind at ease.
Wow. It looks pretty different here compared to last time.
Pretty.
The colors are gentler. Guess that must be because Sumeru's at peace now.
Hello.
Look at that. Hot on my heels. You know, you didn't have to cut your catch-up short just to keep me company. Oh, but I guess you panicked when you realized that I might enter Irminsul ahead of you.
Oh no, Nahida sent me to babysit you.
Shut your beak, jailbird! No way a prisoner gets to be so smug!
I understand that prisoners have to put up with harassment from the guards. But right now, I'm on temporary release. So maybe you should think about backing off a little.
Whoa.
Sounds like a successful rendezvous. I need to be quite clear about something. In a few moments, you'll be entering into the innermost region of Irminsul. It is an environment like no other, and the most important place in all of Sumeru. Unlike anywhere else, Irminsul's inner region consists exclusively of torrents of information. You must put aside your differences and be extremely careful as you navigate your way through. I know there are many grievances between you, on both sides, but it is essential that you remain calm after entry. This is as much for your own safety as anything else.
Understood.
Fine. Let's call it truce.
Let's cut each other a little slack, shall we? We are gonna be traveling together after all. Per my agreement with Lesser Lord Kusanali, I'll be at the front. It's my job to lead the way and get rid of any obstacles in our path. All you have to do is keep your pretty eyes open and try not to fall behind.
You make it sound like you're even more experienced at adventuring than us.
If there are no further objections, I suggest we get going.
Oh my goodness.
Or did you
dude.
need some time to mentally prepare yourselves?
Bro, what? We're fine.
Ugh, the snark on this guy. It's unbearable.
If he doesn't change his attitude towards us, I'm gonna give him an ugly nickname. Because there's a name change. And I had a nice name set for you, but you're gonna make me regret it, dude.
Inside of Irminsul.
It's different than what I imagined.
Ooh. Paimon's never seen anything like this. And it feels like a sacred place.
Irminsul is closely intertwined with the entirety of Tevat. Every bit of information flowing here means something. Pick your jaws up off the floor. It's time to go.
Why is it that Paimon just wants to do the opposite of everything he says?
Yeah.
We're here.
What a huge tree!
Pretty. The center of Irminsul. All the information in the world is flowing
Lesser Lord
through.
Kusanali.
Good, you made it. Are you ready?
Ready when you are.
Then please begin. Preparing to access cognitive currents. Establishing waypoint.
For once, we're the ones with nothing to do.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Oh,
Traveler, Paimon, would you like to talk?
Nahida, is this a telepathic conversation? Sweet.
Yes. I've also invited Paimon to join.
No, I don't want Paimon in here.
We We can talk to each other inside our heads?
Uh-oh, I'm gonna accidentally say some weird thoughts. I guess you don't want us to disturb the Balladeer.
That's part of it. Plus, we're all friends. There's nothing wrong with us talking like this once in a while.
Alright, let's talk behind the Balladeer's back, everybody. Alright, so he is mocking me, and he's like a really big jerk, and I think he sucks.
We ran into two people at the academia today talking about an essay. Turns out their topic was about the Tatarasuna incident. Nahida, do you know anything about that?
If you mean the mysterious events, the kabuki mono and so on, yes. I know about all of that.
Kazua's clan.
Really? Because from what they were saying, it sounded like lots of Tatarasuna's history is still unexplained.
Well, they guessed right about one thing. Tatarasuna was sabotaged.
Must be a riveting conversation you three are having.
Oh.
Funny how all the good ones happen when I'm not involved.
Bruh.
What makes you think we're talking to each other?
Don't insult me. You're having a private conversation without me. Obviously, I must be the topic of said conversation.
Have you found anything yet?
Still looking. Don't get your hopes up, though. You and your twin come from outside this world. It wouldn't surprise me if there was nothing on either of you in Irminsul at all.
Wait, how did you know about that? Did Nahida tell you?
It's not like we've never met before. And anyway, you're world famous. It'd be more surprising if I didn't know a few things about you.
Alright. Every conversation with you is hard work.
Right now, we have to keep the peace. Huh? Wait.
This light. It looks similar to those saplings. What could it be?
Anonymous data.
Hey, don't you forget the agreement. You have to share it with us.
Mr. Niwa, are you certain this is worth the risk? We are talking about Tatarasuna's furnace, after all. It may not pay to act rashly.
There's no one else who can enter the furnace. It has to be me.
Is that so? Well, since you insist.
It's...
I have been in Tatarasuna for some time now. You have shown me great hospitality, as has Mikoshi Nagamasa, and indeed, everyone else. Under your leadership, Tatarasuna is a warm, welcoming place. Like a giant village. People are gainfully employed. Their lives have purpose.
Man, that didn't age
They
well.
are motivated. The forging industry with crystal marrow as a raw material has since flourished, giving rise to generations of swordsmiths. Some world-renowned, others unknown. All passing on their legacy. Every smith brought into this trade looks to find their purpose between steel and blade. That is why you accepted the proposal brought to you by myself and Akame.
Yes, well, were it not for you coming to Inazuma and happening to make Akame's acquaintance, the two of you never would have joined forces. And he would be the first to admit that there's no way he could have revolutionized our forging process like this on his own. At least not on the same timescale. You allowed Akame to take all the credit for a method that you jointly developed. He sold it to me, and now every piece of ore here is smelted using the new technique. Even now, you remain one of Tatarasuna's key consultants, working right here alongside us. I believe it is you, sir, who are truly responsible for the changes in our manufacturing and forging methods.
You flatter me. From the outset, I saw much that was commendable in the forging industry of Inazuma. And it has been my great honor to befriend you all.
So you say, Escher. But is this really the truth?
My good sir, what do you mean?
I tried to resist thinking it was all connected. Because I didn't want to speculate. And I didn't want to believe that things could turn out this way. What have we gained from adopting your new technology? Ominous black smoke? Mounting production problems? Worker fatigue and casualties are up and continuing to rise at an alarming rate. Recently,
But it's
As
probably
you
the
well
Fatui,
know.
obviously.
Someone died because of that strange filth inside the furnace. We've kept the truth from spreading outside, but still, I suspect you understand it better than I do. None of the people who went out to get help have come back. Now, our mutual friend, the Kabuki Mono, is taking the Golden Feather to Narukami Island to seek an audience with Shogun. This is our last hope. But that doesn't faze you, does it, Escher? Nothing does. Otherwise, why would you still be standing there with that smile on your face?
I'm just surprised that you finally chose to be so sincere.
Drop the act! We're past that now. Whoever you are, it looks like your plan to destroy Tatarasuna has worked. I just want to know what you're still doing here. What's left? Don't you have all your answers by now?
Honestly, I'm just waiting for the right moment.
Uh-oh. Oh.
A moment like this, where you finish talking and I stop you from entering the furnace. You're a little smarter than I initially gave you credit for. I thought I'd disguised myself exceptionally well, at least for the first few days. But to my surprise, you had your people look into my background right from the start.
Who is this
It's a
dude?
long journey from Inazuma to Fontaine, but that didn't stop them. Eventually, they managed to confirm that Escher was an alias, and that I was not from Fontaine at all.
Who is this?
And yet, despite all of that, you still fail to realize my true identity, and what I seek in Tatarasuna.
Did you really think you would be able to see through my plan?
Oh!
If you kill
I
me,
know that voice.
there's no one who can get inside the furnace.
Oh!
So you're really going to
Is
destroy
that
this
one
place?
of the Tori's
Is
clones?
that it?
Oh, but you're quite wrong.
It is.
There is one other person. Some may not see him as a person, but you told him yourself. You're not a puppet. You're a human. You're just missing a heart. I'm a Fatui harbinger. Call me the Doctor.
The Fatui? Who? What do you want?
Just to create a minor inconvenience for your nation.
That's it? That's why you gave us your cursed technology? Just to let loose the evil energy from the crystal marrow?
It is easier for a person to be possessed by evil spirits when they are filled with hate. So give in to your fury. I want to see what happens when a malevolent heart is placed into an unsuspecting puppet.
If you give him my heart, tell him that both Nagamasa and I see him as one of us. He has nothing to prove to anyone. Because not everyone just wants to use other people.
What a beautiful way to see the world. It almost makes me feel a little guilty. Think of me as a monster or a demon, if you wish. At least this way your death is not a consequence of your own folly turning you into an easy target.
Wow!
I say, Mr. Niwa, let's see what happens. Will your puppet friend become a human? No, that will prove quite impossible. Mr. Niwa? Already dead. What a pity. Jester, I have completed the task you gave me. Creating a gap and infiltrating Inazuma's inner workings. What fun it was. I'd like to introduce a puppet to you. If he proves useful, let's make him our newest comrade. And if not, let's turn him to dust.
Dottore. Dottore! Good. Good.
Was that the doctor? turn into a mechanic from Fontaine?
He was the one behind the Tatarasuna incident.
But why did we see things from his perspective?
When I touched the doctor to confirm whether he'd eliminated all his segments, I read this memory in his mind. You have to admit, it must be the truth.
Maybe so, but it means nothing.
Does
It
it?
means a lot.
But this memory shows that Niwa didn't betray you. He never meant for you to be the one to take the device into the furnace. You know very well what that means. Even more so than I. It was all a horrific experiment planned by the doctor. Everything he did was just to plant seeds of disaster in Inazuma that would bear fruit in the future. Of all the unwitting participants in the doctor's experiment, the Balladeer became the main test subject. After the events you just saw in that memory, the doctor put Niwa's heart into the device and handed it to the Balladeer. Then, he instructed him to enter the furnace and absorb all the filth caused by the smelting process. The load was far beyond what he expected, but the Balladeer survived. He left the furnace in sheer exhaustion and said to the mechanic, "This device seems to have protected me. What's in it?" The mechanic answered, "Niwa fled this place for fear of punishment, but he left you a gift. He said it's the one thing that you've been looking for." He took it straight from the chest of one of his innocent servants. The mechanic removed the withered heart from the device as he spoke. The Balladeer was stunned that such unthinkable cruelty had brought him the thing he'd been longing for his entire life. A heart acquired through cold-blooded murder is a cursed thing, but it had protected him from the filth. He thought Niwa had completely betrayed him, and yet this very betrayal had ensured his survival. Overwhelmed with anger and sorrow, the Balladeer threw the heart to the ground and left Tatarasuna without looking back.
Holy moly. So the doctor killed an innocent man and pinned everything on the victim? That's terrible. Shall we see how he's doing? Hey, you alright?
What is
That's a
that
scary
smug's expression, bro?
Are you worried about me? If we didn't have such a history, I'd almost think that qualifies me to be your friend.
We just want to make sure this doesn't affect the plan.
It won't. I'll keep my end of the deal.
It's not like I care for you or anything. No, I care.
Hey,
I do actually
are you
care.
investigating the stuff we want to know about?
But unfortunately, there's no information about the Descenders in Irminsul.
Even if you can't find anything, that seems to confirm it. Irminsul does not keep records on the Descenders. Anyone who comes from beyond this world is not counted as part of Tevat.
Oh, does that mean we have to leave empty-handed?
Not unexpected, but still, thank you.
Don't thank me just yet. You look really upset. Well, since Irminsul was a dead end, I guess I can share some other info that might interest you.
Huh? About what?
The reason why there are records about your brother in Irminsul. It might have something to do with Conria. Apparently, Conria was his first destination when he arrived in this world. Plus, he only came to this world because the heavens responded to the summoning.
The heavens responded?
The jester told me this himself. You can take his word on this. He was a royal mage in Conria, and lived with your brother for a time.
What? Why?
I don't know the details. It's up to you whether you want to believe me. All I can say is, I wouldn't lie to you about this.
I believe
Did you get all that, Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Yes. Astonishing news.
Good. In that case, I'll take some time for myself now.
Huh? What have you done?
Lesser Lord Kusanali was right. My power's all but completely spent. Even if I use all of the divine power left in me, I can't sustain this shield for very long.
What are you doing?
I shared a secret with you, and now you owe me.
Oh.
So in return, I'd like you to answer a question for me.
Alright, fair. What do you want to know?
Give me your hand.
What, we holding hands now? What? Okay.
Can you hear my voice inside your head? All I can do is exchange a few words with you. So tell me, in this world, is it possible to change the past?
To change the past? Why would you ask that?
Done.
But I didn't answer your question.
What the? What happened? Paimon only saw you hold hands for a second.
Nothing. I was just thanking her for helping me.
Yeah, and you didn't need to know that. Did he see me hesitate? But that was because I know about Rukavada.
So long. I suggest you get yourselves out of here quickly.
Wait, Balladeer, stop!
Fast reaction time. But I don't think we'll be seeing each other again.
What are you doing? Not part of the... Bro.
From this day forth, the names Balladeer and Kabukimono will cease to exist. Those who died in Tatarasuna because of me deserve another chance at life.
Hey, Balladeer! Don't do anything stupid! We're out! And we're at, an inn or something?
This is an emergency. I'll have to ask you to stay here for now.
What?
Everything's
No, I want to
arranged.
help you!
I'm sorry, but this isn't something I need your help with.
Bruh!
An emergency? How bad is it? What do you think the Balladeer meant? And why did he suddenly grab onto you before?
It's hard to explain it in full, and the truth might be very distressing for Paimon. Skip the part about Grand Lord Rukavada for now. Focus on the Balladeer.
He wants to change the past? But surely that's impossible!
Not easy, that's for sure.
Right! You can't just rewrite history. All that stuff happened already in real life. Ooh, Paimon's so confused.
Maybe he wants to erase himself from history. Oh.
Huh? Ah! Sorry. Paimon accidentally... but erasing yourself from history? It's unthinkable. Is that really possible in Herman's Soul?
Not necessarily, but maybe. What? What's wrong?
What do we... What was Paimon supposed to be doing just now? Paimon was, talking? Huh. Paimon suddenly can't remember what she was talking about.
What?
What was it again?
Did he already do it? You were getting so worried about the situation with the Balladeer.
The Balladeer? Is that a food too? Huh.
Oh
Weird
my.
name, though.
Not this again! Paimon, come with me.
Okay, sure.
What does history look like now? I want to go back to Inazuma.
Huh? We've made it! To Amanoma Smithy!
Ah, it's been a while.
Pardon me, I'd like to ask a question if I may.
Of course. Go ahead.
About the Raiden Gokuden. Could you tell me that story one more time?
Oh. Now there's a question I wasn't expecting. The once renowned Raiden Gokuden, comprised of 5 branches. Amenoma, Futsu, Ishin, Hyakume, and Senju. Most of the great swordsmith clans of old have since fallen into decline. And for a long time, only the Amenoma branch kept its art alive. But fortunately, Kaede Harakazuha recently returned to Inazuma and took up the mantle of the Ishin art. Now, 2 clans remain of the original Gokuden 5. If my memory serves me right, you yourself were present when he forged the Ishin blade.
Yes, we saw that.
Oh, yeah, we were! Paimon remembers that now. We learned a bit about the decline of the Raiden Gokuden then, too. It seems like such a shame.
What was the reason behind their decline?
That, my friends, is a tragic tale indeed. The Raiden Gokuden were the targets of a murderous rampage
What?
by a vengeful bladesmith.
That's the story now?
Vengeful? Why?
400 years ago, so I'm told, there was a catastrophic malfunction in Tatarasuna's furnace. One brave swordsmith heard the commotion.
They don't know that
and
it was
chose not to
intentional.
flee. but he rushed to the scene, hoping to prevent a disaster. Tatarasuna was home to a state-of-the-art forging and smelting operation in that day, and overseeing it was the armory officer. His surname was Niwa, though he had family ties to the Kaedehara clan. Knowing that they had just one chance to save countless lives, Mr. Niwa and the swordsmith leaped together into the furnace. The furnace quickly stabilized.
What?
But neither of them made it out. The smith's death, though heroic, dealt a devastating blow to his family's fortunes. His orphaned son was left to fend for himself, and grew up deeply resentful at the world. In his heart, the whole of Inazuma was culpable in his tragedy. He hated the almighty shogun for her apparent indifference towards his father's death, and he hated everyone who had done nothing to try and save him. Powerless and destitute, the only legacy he had to pass on to his children was his hatred. He made a drastic decision to take revenge on the Raiden Gokuden. In doing so, he sought to vent his pent-up anger and shake the very foundations of Inazuma's forging industry. In his fury, he murdered indiscriminately,
What?
killing even bladesmiths from the Hyakume clan, which he belonged to. His goal was absolute, the devastation of all of the Raiden Gokuden. But when he came to the Kaedehara and Kamisato clans, his killing spree came to an abrupt end. He failed to catch them unawares. They fought back fiercely, and they did not spare his life.
It looks like the Balladeer did something to Irminsul, but it seems Niwa still died. Everything that happened in Sumeru,
Nahida, we're here!
the whole building a god thing.
Traveler, Paimon, how have you been?
Ugh, where to start? Paimon hasn't had a moment's rest this whole time. That night, we ended up chatting until suddenly the sun was up. And then she decided she wanted to go to Inazuma.
I was investigating the situation with the Balladeer.
The Balladeer?
Not you two. There are things that have happened that only I can remember. I'm gonna say it. I have to tell you the truth.
As the Traveler said, he very nearly became Sumeru's deity. Admittedly, I remember it a little differently. I don't recall finding anyone inside the machine after we defeated
Oh, so
it.
there was that fight.
Nevertheless, it does make sense. If someone were to successfully erase themselves from Irminsul, the world would change to reflect the new reality. Once the Balladeer realized he hadn't been betrayed after all, it must have completely changed his view of the people of Tatarasuna. Now he saw them as friends again. He couldn't keep hating humans after that. And if he thought there was a chance he could save his old friends, it would be hard not to try. This story makes sense. Every part of it.
Yeah, it does make sense, but it still ended in tragedy for his friends. It just feels so hopeless. He gave everything to do this, but it seems like he got nothing in return.
Found it. This should be the one.
What is that?
It turns out that I have a strange way of confirming everything she has told us.
What is it?
A record from a personal collection. It was tucked away in a corner. You should take a look. Combined with the Traveler's narrative, it's clear that this story is an allegory. Everything in it is a symbol for something else.
Hold on. So this record survived from the past?
Yes. Any information about the Balladeer or the Kabukimono and other records will have been changed. But I wrote this story in a way that means it was left intact. I guess I must have written this story as a backup before the Balladeer entered Irminsul.
Truly the god of wisdom.
What a great idea!
And sending the Traveler into Irminsul with the Balladeer must have been a further precaution. I knew she'd remember everything. This story is abstract enough that it still resonates with the present information recorded in Irminsul. But if we connect all the different pieces together, the true story that emerges is the one she told us. the now-erased life of the Balladeer. There was once a lone monster draped in fox fur. The monster found a family of foxes, joined them, and they became friends. The monster lived with the family day and night, and everyone treated it as one of their own. Once in a while, the monster would take off its fox fur at night and lament to itself as it gazed at its reflection in the water. I am a monstrosity, yet they are too foolish to see it. I pity them. But the monster soon found solace when another came to live among the foxes who was not their kin. A kitten. The kitten too wished to become a fox, but its tail was too slender and it could not grow a coat of richly colored fur. Yet when the other foxes saw this, they spoke words of comfort to the kitten. Even without a tail and fur like ours, you are still one of us. Furious at this happy resolution, the monster lit a fire on the mountain. The terrified animals panicked as the fire spread. The only way to extinguish the flames was to make a sacrifice. A gray fox stood up and addressed the monster. It said, "You are the cleverest among us. Surely you can help us find a way to solve this." The monster smiled, led the fox toward the fire, and murdered it.
Oh.
The gray fox's heart was turned into a beautiful drop of water. The monster gave the heart of water to the kitten, telling him, "The foxes have decided. You are the one who must be sacrificed. Take this, quench the flames, and die for your fox kin." The fire was extinguished, but the kitten lived. It left that side of the mountain and found a little bird who had a broken wing. The two promised they would spend their whole lives together, but the little bird did not have long left to live. It passed away soon after. I will become the new moon, the answer to everything. Then, no one will know that there were once birds, foxes, and cats in this world. And no one can know that they were different.
Weird way to put it.
We solved it!
I remember now. This is not just the Balladeer story. It is his very own memories.
We're here! What should we eat first?
Feel like there's something I'm missing, something I'm forgetting.
Hey, are you gonna answer or what?
Sorry, just give me a minute. I'm still processing. Great Lord Ugravada, Forbidden Knowledge, Nahida.
What is it? Have you figured it all out?
Shut up! Let me fucking right up. Yes, that's it. Greater Lord Ugravada. She said that no one can erase themselves from existence, not even her. Otherwise, why would she need to create her own reincarnation unless her Lord Kusanali to do the deletion for her? It's simply not possible for the Balladeer to completely erase his own existence. In which case, the question is, what happened to him?
Excuse me, boss. There seems to be a small problem with the last bill. Look, here.
Hey! Hey, wait!
You mean me?
No, not you. That kid! Didn't you see? Little rascal grabbed my last 2 fresh Sunsettias and ran off. Look, if you're gonna help out here, you can't keep spacing out, okay? What is it? Work's too boring for you?
I wasn't paying close enough attention. Sorry, boss. I'll find some more. Just a moment. I'll be right back.
I wasn't seeing this with my own eyes. I never would believe it.
Huh? You two over there. Is there something I can help you with?
He spotted us!
Have we met before?
Bro.
No, we haven't met. But you know me?
Yes.
I have no recollection.
It's complicated, but I do know you.
Are you absolutely sure?
Sorry, but I just can't take your word for it.
I can prove it. You're a puppet.
A puppet? What makes you think that?
Huh?
You were right! The look on his face!
I'm sure whatever it is must be important.
There's somewhere I want to take you.
Okay.
You say that you are trekking across Tevat to train yourself. Many other Inazumans who describe themselves in this way call themselves Shugenja. Why do you refer to yourself as a wanderer?
Well, it seems more relevant in my case. To me, it sounds like a plant with no roots. But these two claim that they know me, and that I have a hidden past unknown even to myself.
I wouldn't call it the past, but rather... this is a difficult one to explain. It seems that it ought to be called, previous incarnation.
What was I like in my previous incarnation?
You wouldn't like it. You would not like it.
Oh, okay. I see. Please, tell me the truth.
Is truth something you care a lot about?
Yes.
What?
In your previous incarnation, you did many things that would be considered evil. You nearly died because of what other people did, and many died because of you. As a non-human being, you hated gods and humans alike. You drifted from place to place, never able to settle, even where you found status and identity. You adamantly believed that you were missing a heart.
I gave everything I had, but it barely changed history at all.
In terms of the outcome alone, that's true. I can even show you the memories themselves, if you're willing.
Please, I want to see them for myself. I want to experience my own transgressions.
Even though it will cause your present self great mental anguish?
I'm just a puppet, with no heart and no name. There is nothing in this world for me to cling to fill the void within me. Except maybe these sins that can never be undone.
This looks like Inazuma.
Right now, you're in a dream I created using information extracted from your memories. These memories will show you the raw truth, but be aware that enemies may react just like in the real world.
Sounds like an immersive experience. It's
Cool.
a good...
You don't need to do this for me. I don't deserve your protection.
We never give up halfway. Well, we had to once, but that was your doing.
And now we're just finishing the job.
All right. Thanks.
Wanderer, this is the Shake Pavilion. In your Balladeer incarnation, this is where the Electro Archon placed you after your creation. You had a great many memories here.
Is that because this is kind of like his birthplace?
Yeah, but he was discarded kind of at
You
birth.
could say that.
There's someone passed out on the ground.
Who are you?
You're awake. What happened? How'd you get stuck here? Are you injured? Huh. Not a scratch. And these fine clothes. Who are you?
This man is Katsuragi, deputy to Torichiyo's adopted son, Mikoshi Nagamasa. He found the Balladeer in Shake Pavilion and took him back to Tatarasuna.
And the rest is history. Well, it used to be.
In the original version of events, Katsuragi was ultimately killed by Nagamasa.
Let me get you out of here. Our people are nearby. Hang in there.
During the Tatarasuna incident, Niwa was murdered by the doctor disguised as a mechanic. The Balladeer, then known as the Kabukimono, disappeared not long after. As the second in command at Tatarasuna, responsibility for what had happened fell to Mikoshi Nagamasa. But Katsuragi had sworn lifelong loyalty to Nagamasa after the latter had once saved his life. At Katsuragi's insistence, Nagamasa killed him to put an end to the Tatarasuna incident.
Nagamasa, I found this young guy in a cave sealed off by a landslide. He doesn't remember his name.
Well, we need to call you something. I hear the workers are calling you the Kabukimono.
It's fine with me.
Katsuragi, report to Niwa. Tell him we have someone new joining us.
Whoa, this is where you were born? It's pretty. But there's nobody here.
I know who this kid is.
I was abandoned, like you. I lived here for a while at first, but there's nothing for us here. We can't stay.
Okay. I heard my mom and dad used to make swords, but the factory manager died, and then my dad got sick. He kept coughing all the time, just like me. Then Mom started coughing too.
But you can't. You promised me.
Yup, we're family now. We're gonna be together forever and ever. This child didn't have a name. Or rather, the Balladeer didn't know what to call him. His father died before he could name him. After his mother died, the child stayed in their straw hut alone. Some of the neighbors helped to raise him. After leaving Tatarasuna, the Balladeer ran into this child who didn't have a name, just like him. They made a promise to live together.
What happened to the child then?
He died from his illness while he was still very young. The Balladeer came home one day and found that he had stopped breathing.
Hey! What's wrong? Say something! You promised me we could be family! You're no different from Niwa and all the others. You betrayed me too. The voices have gone. It looks like the memory ends here.
Let's keep going.
Oh dear.
You do realize you're blocking my path.
I come not to obstruct you. I've been waiting.
Just
What you are truly is a weapon. One that could be wielded with an iron will. Or you could continue to drift aimlessly.
This place is dark.
Paimon knows this place. It's the Delusion Factory in Inazuma.
where we
In
met.
the original version of events, the Traveler once encountered the Balladeer here.
Such a creepy atmosphere. And so familiar.
And he was all like, embrace the anger, embrace it. And then the traveler like passed out.
Well, well, my fair lady. Is this rundown factory and these incompetent fools all for me? Wow. You shouldn't have.
Wow, seeing La Senora again is so weird, dude. It's like a
What do you
ghost.
have to gain from belittling your subordinates? You might not want to admit it, but you are a part of this plan. Perhaps you find fighting in the Abyss to be a more meaningful use of your time? Oh, but of course, even this pales in comparison to being experimented on by the Doctor.
What a sharp tongue you have. Don't start thinking you're invincible. And don't let your emotions get in the way.
She didn't take that advice.
Surely you're not worried about me.
I just can't have you getting in my way. You and Child never failed to find ways to complicate things.
Do you remember the last time you were here? That was a lot of swordsmiths you killed. I'm sure the descendants of the Raiden Gokaden are still suffering the consequences now. Look at you. Oh, don't get so sentimental. Now, give that poor little tongue of yours a rest and stop pretending like you're above everyone else. Bye then. See you at the victory feast.
Oh, was that your last word, Senora?
Poor little tongue? She's playing with fire talking to me like that. Who does she think she is?
There's more of this story to come. Wanderer, are you able to continue?
Oh dear.
Yes. Please don't worry about me.
Why are you staring at me in silence? Can't you think of a nicer way to express yourself?
I'm under no obligation to be nice to you. Besides, I thought nothing mattered to you except results in your own interests. Isn't that right, witch?
Nah, witch!
Muddle-headed puppet. You're only number 6 because you can take more abuse than other humans. Do you really count that as an asset?
You're about as much fun to be around as a raging inferno. But before we murder each other, it'd be best if we finish our duties.
Goodness gracious, they were at each other's throats, bro.
Wall of Fury.
You dare to gaze upon me?
Got you. Witness the power of good.
I feel like we're not supposed to be seeing. Oh.
Looks like we've arrived in Sumeru.
I'm feeling we shouldn't be saying this.
Is that?
Considering that Amorta's sage, Nafis, refused to join this project, I'll take part in the experiment in his place.
Welcome. I look forward to a fruitful collaboration.
When do we start?
You seem impatient. You should know that becoming a god is far from a trivial affair.
The biological transformation is a lengthy process. As such, I too would recommend that we commence as soon as possible.
Nothing worse than what I've been through before then, Doctor.
You were the most resilient test subject I ever came across. Thanks to you, I was able to garner a great deal of information. Alas, after that, you were under orders to remain in the abyss. We barely saw each other, and it became difficult to further refine the knowledge I had gained.
That was gracefully worded. Ever wonder what they think if they knew that nothing matters to you, apart from your crazy experiments?
I suggest you speak to me in a more respectful tone, Scaramouche. The mere fact of your utility does not make you indestructible.
The doctor again? That was uncomfortable to watch.
You're a god. Do you think I'm evil?
If you accept that he is you, just as you are you, then yes, you are evil.
In your eyes?
I don't think
Are
he's
there any
evil.
differences between humans
Things
and
are not black and
puppets?
white like that.
Do you think there are any differences between your present self and your previous and future incarnations? If not, then what are the differences between humans and puppets? Whoever has tasted the joys and sorrows of life in the human realm is human. Whoever has loved and lost, cried with grief, howled with rage at the tragedy of death that eclipses the miracle of life, they are human too.
I've seen enough of my past. If possible, I'd like to reclaim the sins that are mine to bear. No matter the consequences, I won't run from blame or punishment. Whatever I am due, let it come to pass.
Are you saying...
Can you return my memories to me?
But won't that mean you'll lose your current identity?
I've always believed that human lives follow a set of rules, with each person being a collection of past experiences. As a puppet living in a human world, my life is subject to the same rules.
Yeah, but history's still been
Regaining your
rewritten,
memories
right?
means reverting completely to your previous incarnation. All the emotions that you discarded will return to you. Are you sure you want to do this?
I've lived with a void in my chest my whole life. My creator didn't need me. And ever since I awoke, I've just drifted from one place to the next. But then I met you. And I finally realized that reclaiming my missing sins might be my one opportunity to become my true self.
Very well. Since your mind is made up, I will return to you that which is yours. You have made your decision. Now, take this.
Set him free?
A puppet? What's he doing here? You're a human as far as I'm concerned.
Everyone's here. Wonderful.
Oh god, not him.
What a fine blade. Nagamasa will be thrilled.
This is my...
Is he alright?
What?
No way!
What the frick?
worthless dross will be purged. That's why this won't be the end.
Balladeer?
Alright.
Die. This is trying my patience.
Why are we soloing the boss?
Have you got all your memories back now?
Have you got any more stupid questions?
I'm gonna die, bro. I can't solo this boss.
Behold.
This Garbush doesn't do much damage. Ah!
I command, you shall fall.
Oh no. Oh! Ah! Ah! No! Oh. Okay.
Behold.
The pure sheer of will is keeping him alive, I guess. Never mind, I have unlimited health. This is gonna take a while. Fly higher than that. You're gonna get hit. What the? No! I ran out of the flying! Oh my god, I died again, bro. There we go. That took a while.
It disappeared. Did we win?
What did you expect? I'd never lose to that.
Yeah, well, if you have infinite health, of course you won't lose.
Welcome back, Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer.
It feels like we just went on a really long journey.
It's like everything happened and at the same
You
time
like
nothing
being
happened.
addressed by that name?
It's fine. But I was just thinking, I should probably change it.
You won't go by the Balladeer anymore?
After learning about everything the doctor did, there's no way I can carry on using a name connected to him.
Fair.
I'm not planning on returning to the Fatui, and they wouldn't take me back anyway. Recent events will have affected a lot of people, and they might not even remember who the sixth is.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I was
you're
gonna say.
quitting the Fatui for good?
Traveler.
Yes?
After I dove into the information torrents in Irminsul, why did you go to Inazuma?
Because I wanted to know what you changed.
So that's how you found out whose fate had changed. And how? Well, whatever your reasons, you did me a favor. And I'll do everything I can to pay it back.
I didn't do all this for reward. Please don't make it sound like I'm extorting you.
Borrowing and returning are the only real relationships between individuals. I'll balance the books one day. Don't you worry.
That's not true. A relationship between two people is not simply a ledger that can be reset to zero. I think deep down you realize this. People who show up in your life don't just evaporate like water drops and leave nothing behind. There is no such thing as balancing the books. To be human is to live with imperfections. You can choose whether or not you want to be human.
But humans can't live without a heart, can they? Anyway, I gave up trying to become a human a long time ago.
You understand what pain is perfectly well, even without a heart. You're just bearing your feelings. The past is set in stone, but you can keep moving on. And the longer your future lasts, the shorter your past will become, until one day
I think the Wanderer's
it is but a
pretty
tiny
human to
fraction
me.
of your life.
Nothing
Sounds like
suggests
you've got
that
a
he
future
isn't.
planned out for me.
Besides just physically.
Paimon
It's
doesn't
like the
even
whole
know where to
Pinocchio
start,
situation. It's the same
but the most
thing.
important thing now is that you need to follow Nahida. Otherwise, all our efforts will have been for nothing.
Then I guess I'll be helping you from behind the scenes from now on.
I'm glad that you've accepted our proposal. Why don't you choose a new name to celebrate? A name is life's first gift. You didn't say it out loud, but I know that's what you're thinking. The Traveler and Paimon have helped you a lot. if you can't decide on a new name, maybe you can ask them for ideas.
Okay, Paimon, you're in charge of making the stupid names.
Have you got anything?
Alright. Yes. I'm very aware of this. I knew this was coming, so I planned ahead. It's mostly just a display name that will show up, and since I have him, I will see the display name. Those who don't have him will not see it, so it doesn't even matter what they put. Bro, first thing that came to my mind was... I do actually have a name for him, like a legitimate name. Before I reveal such a name, I thought it'd be funny to just humor you all by putting all the names that he automatically rejects. So, like, if you put a Fatui name, you'll get really angry.
Is this supposed to be your attempt at a joke?
Oh, let me give it some thought.
Okay.
Scaramouche.
Have no need for these names anymore.
Kabukimono or whatever it is. All those, the Balladeer, he won't like any of those. Obviously, you can, like, get around it by doing, like, that. I don't want to do that, though.
Are you sure?
Yeah, he will actually take that, but,
Okay.
I want to give him sort of a fresh life that he asked for. I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat right now, so I get it. So I decided, since I'm a big Kingdom Hearts fan, his name's gonna be Sora, which also means sky. Seems kind of fitting for him. It seems like a nice name. I like it, so...
Are you sure?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
actually I wanted to share, he will get like weirdly excited if you put your own name.
You want to share your name with me? Not a bad choice. Are you sure?
Yes. This will do.
Oh, alright. If you say so.
Now you have a name of your own.
Some people put some really stupid names like Shrek.
What about a nickname?
Scaradouche.
Are you done yet?
Still thinking. Stop rushing me!
Take your time. I don't need to see you again until you've thought of one.
What do you plan to do next?
Everyone who manipulated me and made me suffer will have to pay the price.
You mean the Fatui?
The doctor, at least.
Now that your stance has changed, I believe your future path will change accordingly. But it won't be immediate. You still need some time to compose yourself.
One more thing. There are still some descendants of the Raiden Gokuden living in Inazuma. Some of them know. Well, they ought to know about the connection between Raiden Gokuden and myself. I don't plan to leave Sumeru for the time being. If you see them in Inazuma, please tell them that I was the one responsible for the Raiden Gokuden's downfall. Even though the events have been erased from the world, they still deserve to know the truth.
I see. That is up to you.
Huh? But if we do that, then...
It's fine. Let them stab their blades into my chest if they so desire. Maybe that's how it always should have been. No nonsense. I like it. All right, let's call it a day. Goodbye, wise deity. And you too.
He's gone.
What he went through today would have been like living an entire lifetime in an instant. He'll need some time to calm down.
Yeah, that would be weird.
Huh? Look at the vase.
Oh.
Did someone break it while they were cleaning the room or something? Like,
Wait.
Paimon doesn't remember there being a cleaner.
Paimon bumped into the table after being startled by something to do with the Balladeer and broke the vase. Yeah. But the Balladeer erased his existence. He changed the world, so why is the vase still broken?
You sound lost and confused. I know why you are troubled. Any who knew of this would find their mind overwhelmed. Unfortunately, the fate of Tevat cannot easily be changed, like a vase that falls to the ground. Whether it is broken by a cat or by a bird, the result is still a broken vase, is it not?
Yeah.
Who are you? How do you know about all this?
History does not change easily, but human hearts can. Believe your own eyes. Only that which you see is true. What is unseen is but an illusion.
What? That was weird. A brush with which you may bestow a new name upon a certain person. Once a new name has been given, it cannot be changed. Okay, so I'm able to change his name one more time.
There's no such thing as pure freedom in this world. Even the wind cannot blow on forever.
Bro, you didn't have to end it that way. That wasn't the most optimistic way to end it. Oh no, he's gonna do it again. I don't want to hear the growl.
Relax.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.